Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about what we can learn from ERCOT out in Texas. That's the energy people out there. It's kind of a blockbuster heat wave out there right now. So, ERCOT put out the advice to the people in Texas saying, hey, don't run your large appliances, bump your thermostat up a couple degrees. Otherwise, things are going to go bad. Too much strain on the system. Now, there were a lot of people who weren't happy about that, but they understood why that information was being provided to them, right? And a whole lot of people did it. I would suggest that most probably did something to limit their energy consumption because they knew that if they didn't change their behavior, that they would have a bigger problem down the road. If nobody altered their behavior, odds are the system would be strained too much, power would go out, and everybody would get really hot, right? So, when ERCOT did this, they weren't coming for your thermostat, right? They were just providing you the information you needed to help mitigate an issue, so you didn't have a larger problem down the road. Pretty simple. So the question is, why, when people who are experts when it comes to climate and climate mitigation, when they make recommendations, it turns into they're coming for your whatever. They're doing the exact same thing. They're trying to provide you with information so you can make an informed decision, everybody chip in a little bit, and avoid a larger problem down the road. When they talk about stuff like this, it's voluntary, just like the ERCOT thing was. It's a voluntary thing at first. If we do this, it helps, right? And then some Republican, generally, comes along and turns it into a culture war issue and says they're coming for your thermostat, they're coming for your light bulb, they're coming for whatever, your toilet. And people turn it into a point of honor to not do the responsible thing. Right? You have to wonder why the individuals who push those narratives, the individuals who come out there and turn it into some conspiratorial global plot to take away your toilet that uses too much water, you have to wonder why they're focused on that. Why they're not focused on a real issue, why they're not actually out there pushing their policy, but rather just getting you to react to good advice. It's interesting that in the GOP-controlled state of Texas, you didn't have a whole bunch of people coming out saying that, you shouldn't do that. They're coming for your thermostat. They're coming for your AC. You didn't have any of that, right? A niche market didn't develop selling yellow flags with a thermostat on it that says, come and take it. Didn't happen. Because it is political. It is a way of providing hyperbolic information to their base to get them rallied up, to get them focused on something other than policy, just to keep control of them, to keep them under their thumb. If you're mad at some ill-defined, unnamed group of people who are coming for your toilet or your stove or your thermostat or your light bulbs, well, you're not paying attention to them. We have to make changes. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you want it to or not. We're going to have to make changes to our energy infrastructure. We're going to have to make changes when it comes to consumption in general. We're going to have to make a lot of changes in the coming years. And if you don't do it voluntarily, much like, you bump it up a couple degrees voluntarily, that'll be all right. But if you don't do it, your power is going to go out. And you're going to be forced to bump it up a couple of degrees, because it's going to be off. The same thing applies. If you want to hand your kids a similar standard of living, you have to stop allowing people who provoke you into reaction, people who play on your emotions, people who try to control you by distracting you. You have to stop letting them have that power. You have to start listening to the people who know what they're talking about, those people who are trying to provide you the advice you need so you can avoid a larger problem down the road. When they say stuff like this, it's not them trying to upset your way of life or impose something on you. They're trying to stop a larger problem down the road. With the ERCOT thing, it's, almost immediate, so people see the need. The Republican Party keeps its base so angry that they're always focused on the immediate, and they miss down the road. The slogans, the advice, it's not new. Be kind, rewind. It's the exact same type of thing. Do this little thing now to avoid a problem down the road. Everybody chips in, it makes everything better. It's the same type of situation. Climate is probably the largest issue our generation, this generation, is going to face. And it's going to take everybody doing their part. Those who would try to use that as culture war stuff, they're probably not fit to be in office, because what they're doing is undermining the advice that is going to protect your kids simply to get a vote, simply to maintain power and keep you under their thumb. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.